Well, when you get on an airplane, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first, but unfortunately, too many Americans are burning the candle at both ends and in the middle. And we're going to be talking about self-care with a nationally known expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, we live in a society that is wired and tired. I've heard from too many entrepreneurs, oh, I'll sleep when I die. And they put themselves last, and that perfectly describes my next guest, Monica Connolly. Did I say that right?
Yep, Azulay.
Connolly is in the studio, and she's a best-selling author, keynote speaker, and my friend. Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
They always say nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So the advice that you now give others is something that you could have given yourself a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in the worst shape of my life, physically, mentally, emotionally. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize the person looking back at me. I had been told by my doctor not to expect to live much longer because my health was so bad. And really, there's so many places to go for information. And so you just feel absolutely overwhelmed with, like, who do I trust? Who do I listen to? What fad diet do I follow now? And so I started a journey of learning how to take care of myself, and now took that journey and help other women do the same thing.
Incredible. You also have a very popular podcast, and we're going to put this on the screen as you're talking about it. And shout out to Amberly Lago. She's a mutual friend, and she's just a rock star. Tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, my podcast is called Unshakable Belief. I actually got in the room with Amberly Lago, and she recommended other rooms that I get into. And as I got into these rooms, I was hearing these amazing stories from people. And I'm like, but I'm the only one that's hearing this. Other people need to hear this story too. And so a lot of the stories I was hearing were people who had overcome these amazing things. They developed this resilience from it, and they were using their story to help reach back and pull other people back up. And so I decided I'm going to start putting these stories out there. I'm going to start sharing these stories so that people see that they're not alone, that, yes, you can do hard things, you can get through it. There's something on the other side. It's, you can still live your best life, your happiest life. And now I also use it as a way to kind of tell my story, my journey, and teach nervous system tips and different things like that, so that people can have access to that easily.
Yes. Now, you've written many best-selling books, but I want to focus on the latest one. We're going to put this on the screen. The Lie is Loud. Silence the Noise. Step into who you are. Tell us about this book.
Yeah. So this book, there was never going to be a book. I was never going to write a book like this. And I was approached and asked, hey, this publishing company said, would you like to write a book? And sure, I'll write a book. And I started writing, and it's amazing how cathartically healing writing is. You sit and you start writing out things, and you start remembering things, and writing a book in itself is a healing journey. You go through things and you document them in the book. You talk about what did you learn? How did you make it through? And so really the book is about a lot of the lies that men and women live with and just accept as fact. This is a fact. This is my life. And no, there's things you can do. There's steps you can take. You can change that. You are the author of your story and you get to write the ending.
All right, what's one of the takeaways from the book?
Gosh, I think that really taking the time to do the work on yourself. So many people, they don't want to take the time for all kinds of different reasons. I know I had every excuse in the book why I couldn't do the healing work that I needed to do. But eventually you reach the point where you're like, okay, I mean, I had reached the point where I was like, if I don't do this, it's going to kill me. And so really sitting down and taking that time, because like you said, you have to put your oxygen mask on first. But as a society, that's not what we're taught. We're taught to push through, persevere, put everybody else first. And so really pushing that aspect of self-care, that you stop, you take care of yourself, because when you heal, you're going to heal your kids, you're going to heal your spouse, you're going to heal your grandkids. It's such a ripple effect that you see for generations, and it just carries.
So powerful. We're going to pull up your website, and I want you to talk about the kinds of audiences you like to speak to, the kinds of coaching clients that you like to take on.
Right. Coaching clients, I love to work with high-performing women, because I was a high-performing woman, but inside I was falling apart and completely broken. And again, it's that those high-performing women that are so often the ones that put everyone else first.
Yes.
They become, they always take care of themselves last. And so I love helping those women be able to learn to place themselves as a priority, but also learn, am I doing what I'm passionate about? Am I doing what I was put here for, my purpose? And finding, how can I incorporate those things that I'm passionate about, what my life's purpose is, how can I incorporate that back into my life?
Yes. Let's spend a couple minutes talking about mom guilt, because so many women suffer from this. If you're killing it at work, you might not be going to the ballet practice or the soccer practice. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're like, oh my goodness, I could be doing so much in business. So talk about that and how you reconcile that.
Gosh, and it's a huge struggle. So many women feel like if I am being successful in my business and doing all of the things in my business, my family has to take a back seat, and vice versa. Moms who maybe don't have a full-time job, or, they're raising their kids, maybe they're homeschooling their kids, they're managing the household, and as a society, we don't think about that as a full-time job. And it's like 3 full-time jobs.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah. And so really learning, for me, it was, am I passionate about the work that I'm doing? And if I'm not, what steps can I take so that I'm passionate about the work that I'm doing, so that when I'm at work, I can devote 100% to my job. And when I'm with my family, I'm completely present and 100% there. So it's really evaluating those priorities. And again, you have to put yourself first. You have to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to take the time. I'm taking 30 minutes every day. And that is my time. I'm not going to be interrupted. It's like, you make that appointment with yourself and honor it like you would any other appointment.
Yes.
So that you can have that balance and be present at both places when you're needed at that place.
So important. She gives away the gold. So if you follow her on any of her social media platforms, you're going to get so much wisdom. I found a clip that I really like. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Ready to transform your life? Here are the 3 mindset shifts that made all the difference for me. First, I embraced resilience over perfection. Focusing on bouncing back rather than being perfect kept me moving forward. Next, I prioritized self-care as a non-negotiable. Taking care of myself was essential to reclaim my vitality and achieve change. Finally, I transformed limiting beliefs into empowering goals. Believing in my potential turned obstacles into opportunities. These shifts were key to my transformation. Are you ready to embrace them for your own journey? Let's connect. Follow for more transformation tips and DM me to start your journey.
One of the things I love about you is you've walked more than a mile in your clients' shoes. I mean, there's so many people, take a weekend course and suddenly they're a life coach, but they never ran a business. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure that you have a special way of relating to your coaching clients and the audience. So in the final 2 minutes, look into the camera on the left and talk to that organization that might need to bring you in or the coaching client who might need to hire you.
Right. So, I love the fact that I walked the journey, and my journey is what I teach. And I'm just a couple steps ahead of you. I'm not this person that has this perfect life. I don't ever want to give that persona. And so I love to be able to walk alongside my clients because I was where they were, and to be able to share my stories with them and show them how I walked through things. And not everybody's situation or story is the same, but a lot of the lies that we believe about ourselves are the same. We don't believe our value. We don't believe our worth. And so I love to be able to walk that path with women. Keynote speaking, I love to come in and really just pour belief and value into, your staff and your employees. That's something that I do with the organization that I work with currently. I love to do. So different ways you can connect with me. I'm available on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm also hosting a women's retreat in San Antonio, Texas in October of 2026. This is really going to be a time to come unwind, really reconnect with yourself, and walk away refreshed with lots of great tips.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. I can see why you're so wildly successful. We're gonna end with her website, which is MonicaConnollyCoaching.com. The great Monica Connolly. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.